Hey everyone, I don't know if you ever asked this question or not, but have you ever wondered why people just misunderstand you or maybe miss your point in a conversation, or maybe they're just not hearing what you're saying? It happens a lot, and I want to talk about that in this session. I was having breakfast a few days ago, and I was sitting next to this couple, and they were speaking Spanish, and I love the Spanish language. I took Spanish in high school. I just think it's a beautiful language. I love hearing people talk Spanish, but I think I got maybe like a B- in Spanish. So as I'm listening into their conversations, yes, I'm eavesdropping. I'm probably picking up maybe every fifth word or so, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly everything that they were talking about. But I just loved it. It was kind of a fun exercise to kind of listen in, but only understand some of it. And actually, there's just some words that I didn't pick up at all, and I didn't know any of the meaning, but I could kind of read a bit of it. I think sometimes our communication is that way too. It's like when somebody's talking to us or we're talking to them, maybe they're not picking up all the words. Maybe they're not hearing it clearly. Maybe it's just they're getting every fifth word. And so often, in our communication, it's not what you say, but what people hear. And what they hear is often run through a filter of distortion, which often causes a lot of misunderstanding in our communication. Let's think of it this way. Think of it like a guitar note. I used to play the guitar. I love the guitar, and especially the electric guitar, because you can take a note, just like a clean note, and then you can run it through a distortion pedal, right? And that's going to change the note a little bit. And then you can run it through an effects rack that has all these kinds of different effects of chorus and reverb and delay. And then all of a sudden you run it through those two different distortions and two different pedals, and you're going to have a similar note, but it could be completely different than that original clean guitar note that you played on your guitar, because you ran it through all these different distortion pedals and digital reverb and delay. The original note is now changed, not in meaning, but in its reception, right? It's gone from very calm little guitar note to like, wah! And that's what happens in our communication. Our words are often run through these filters that people are hearing us through. And usually these filters are filters of pain. You see, if they've missed your point, if they haven't really heard you, or you're completely misunderstood in a conversation, it's probably because your words, those notes, ran through some distortion filters. So let's talk about kind of three main ones that often our conversations and our words run through. Number one, the filter of survival. So when people are listening, they have this filter of survival on them. And they're listening for danger, or maybe they see danger around every corner when it's not really there. So when you're talking to somebody, maybe they're just always on high alert and ready for danger and ready to attack. And they're not hearing the notes that you're singing or saying in that moment, because it's running through this filter of survival. And so they attack you, and they just are missing the point. Now, another filter that a lot of people run other people's words through is the filter of protection. Maybe that person who's listening to you right now, they need to protect their reputation, or we feel like this need to protect our ego or protect our point of view. Where the filter of survival is really about attack, but the filter of protection is really about defense and putting up armor. And so that armor and that distortion in your words that they're hearing from you is not getting through the way you want it to. And then finally, there's the filter of our past. And this is a big one, because sometimes we think a conversation is happening in the moment, that it's happening in real time. But the reality is, when I'm having a conversation with you, I'm also having a conversation with all the people before you. And maybe your words sound a lot like somebody else's words, and that person's words before you really hurt me. Maybe the things that you're saying or the way that you're saying it is anchored not in what is happening in real time, but is happening is something from the past is being brought to the present. So being aware of those three filters will help you understand why sometimes you're misunderstood. See, good communication requires observation about the barriers that often stand in the way. And when you're misunderstood, understand that it's not necessarily about you, but how people hear you. There's going to be distortion and filters over everything that you say in terms of what people hear. So say it stronger by not taking it personally and working to overcome the baggage people bring to every conversation. Hey friends, if you've enjoyed that you found it to be helpful, I encourage you to share this on social media or email a link to a friend. We'll see you next time.